What's up, everybody, and welcome to Module 4, Chapter 5. This is flexibility. Hope you all had a great spring break. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I thought it lasted, or it went by too fast, but hey, we got a whole break off, so I'm cool with that. So this chapter is all about flexibility, and I'm gonna go over the assignments first with you all, and then we will go over the material in the PowerPoint slides. So, as always, we have the reading available, the PowerPoint slides, and the study guide here. Your first assignment that's due this Sunday is you're just going to answer these questions that pertain to: is flexibility important? Do you believe that everyone should focus on their overall flexibility? Do you yourself focus on flexibility? And why? Why do you perform stretching exercises, for example, or well, why don't you? So just answer those questions there in a paragraph of at least 150 words, and that's due by this Sunday. Okay, that's your first assignment. Your second assignment is you're going to complete a couple of yoga workouts. Yes, so in the comfort of your own home, hopefully you have plenty of room somewhere in your home. If you would like to come to campus and do it, then you certainly can. But there's two workouts I want you to do. They're at least 30 minutes, or they are 30 minutes in length. There's one that's beginner friendly, this one right here, the first one. And the one at the bottom is more intermediate. It's a little bit more challenging compared to the first one. And I want you to answer the questions I have here. So just you're going to pretty much compare each workout, and were there some things that you liked about one workout compared to the other, and would you do them again? Do you like yoga? So yeah, just answer those questions I have here in a paragraph of at least 200 words. Okay, so it's 200 words for this assignment, and then you have your test. Your test is going to be due on Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Um, and it'll open up on the day before, Tuesday, the 31st. So there you have some time between now and the 31st or the first to complete the test. It's not a very long chapter, but it's very important to not leave out flexibility for your overall fitness, your overall health, physical health. Okay, so you'll here are all the PowerPoint slides. You'll need to know the definition of flexibility, and just understand that some people might not include flexibility in their workout regimen or their workout routine, because if I'm walking down the street and I see somebody that looks fit, that looks like they have some muscle mass to them, they're not very large in size, then I know that they work out. They probably most likely include some sort of weight training routine. But if I see someone that's normal, average size, not large, not small, you can't tell if they're flexible or not until maybe I ask them to perform an exercise, or if they say, "Hey, I can do a split," then that's your cue that yes, that person is flexible. So we when we exercise, we want to be able to look fit, look in shape, muscular if that's your goal, but you don't really tell if someone is you can't tell if someone is flexible just by their looks. Okay, so that might be a main reason why some people don't include their flexibility in a workout regimen. You got different types of flexibility. You got static and dynamic. Static is without movement. Dynamic is with movement. Okay. Stretching. Stretching, I'm sure y'all have heard of before. Stretching is the exercise where you elongate or lengthen the skeletal muscles. And you're not only lengthening out the skeletal muscles, and we'll talk about that here soon, but you've got your tendons, ligaments, those soft tissues. You've got different types of connective tissues that are having to accommodate for that movement when it comes to stretching. Elasticity. So this is a little bit confusing, so I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I can. But think of a rubber band. I'm sure y'all have played with a rubber band before, or spring, or the old telephone cords. If you have, or if you had a corded phone at home back before cell phones, when you pull on it X amount of distance and you release it, it springs back to its original form. So think of that being your, um, that also is applying to your skeletal muscles and those different soft tissues, tendons, ligaments, etc. So it's the ability to return to resting length after static stretching. You want to have great elasticity. Okay. So that's elasticity. Benefits of flexibility, improve joint health. Okay. As you get older, your joints aren't as strong as they used to be. With a with an inclusion of weight training, your joints can be a lot healthier if you include stretching exercises. That second one is key. Reduce the risk of injuries to your joints, muscles, tendons, and even ligaments. Okay. And when y'all complete those yoga workouts, I want you to pay attention to how you feel afterwards. You should feel somewhat relaxed. You should feel somewhat, if you do it in the morning or maybe at night, maybe you had a long day, it was stressful, but then you complete that yoga workout. It should be more relaxing. It helps release that stress going on. So yeah, so these are benefits when it comes to including stretching exercises that will enhance your flexibility. What determines your flexibility? You got three things. You got joint structure, soft tissues, and the neuromuscular system, which we'll talk about here in a second. Make sure y'all know what a joint is. So joint structure, your elbows are joints, knees are joints, shoulders are joints, where two or more bones intersect and they interact with each other for a specific movement. Um, so yeah, so joint structure, it cannot be changed. You know, some people might be more flexible in their shoulders than others. Um, you don't really adjust. You can't change the structure, the main structure of your joints. Um, you have to you have to go by the hand that you're dealt with. Okay, so make sure y'all know what a joint is. Soft tissues, and I kind of touched base with that a little bit earlier, but you got of course, your skeletal muscles, tendons, ligaments, even your skin, and that connective tissue that surround the joints or that hold the joint in place um, to allow for that movement. And there are the two most common connective tissue types. You got collagen and elastin. Make sure y'all know that. That will be on your test. Okay. And then can't forget about the neuromuscular system. So the main thing with the neuromuscular system, you got what's known as proprioceptors, and they're within your soft tissues, and they help control the movements, the amount of lengthening that occurs in those soft tissues. So I know that I cannot do a split. If I'm trying to do a split and I go down far enough, those proprioceptors are going to be firing off from those soft tissues in that part of the body, and it's going to be saying, "Hey, don't go down any further, otherwise I might get injured." Okay, so they're there for your protection. They help prevent injuries. So you know how far you can hold that stretch, or how deep can you go in that stretch. It should be a little bit of discomfort, but nothing painful. All right, you got so those are the three factors that three internal factors that determine your overall flexibility. You got external factors, so outside your age, gender, outside your body, excess muscle or fat mass. If you take someone that's 350 pounds compared to someone that's 150 pounds, by definition, the person that more likely, more than likely, the person that's 150 pounds is going to be more flexible. If they both are not, if they both don't include any kind of stretching exercises, then by definition, because that person that weighs 350 pounds is going to have more fat mass or muscle mass. Okay. And static stretching. Static stretching, you want to perform after the workout. So if I've done a shoulder workout, okay, I've performed 8 exercises, performed those exercises 3 sets of 10. Afterwards, I might want to stretch out, do some shoulder stretching exercises, maybe some upper back exercises, stretching exercises, static stretching after the workout to hopefully cool down and relax a little bit. But the static stretching, you're holding that position. You're holding it, you're not moving at all. Okay, this is the most common type of stretching. And static stretching, in case you're wondering, improves your static flexibility. And dynamic, you got dynamic stretching, which is with movement. So like bodyweight squats, hip swings, leg swings, jumping jacks. Those are considered types of dynamic stretching that you want to perform before the workout, during the warm up. Plasticity. Um, so we learned about elasticity. Plasticity is a tendency to assume a greater length after static stretching. So basically, the more you include static stretching, you're able to reach further and further and further, maybe every so 2 or 3 weeks. You're improving the plasticity, which will certainly in time it will improve your static flexibility. So you're able to reach, maybe if I'm doing a straight leg hamstring stretch, start out day one, I can maybe just touch my shins and have my legs straight. Can touch my shins. Maybe in a month I can touch the ground. So I'm improving my plasticity. Ballistic stretching is not recommended. It's just I'm forcefully trying to reach to a certain point. Okay. You don't want to jerk. You don't want to force yourself because that's where you can get injured. All right. And you got yoga and Pilates to work out stretching safety. Make sure y'all know these as well. These assessments to test your flexibility, shoulder, trunk, and sit reach. All right, y'all. That's everything. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.